The man formerly known as Billy Gunn versus Kevin Nash in a first blood match. Shut up and take my monies. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this. It's another episode of 10 years ago, episode 90, if you can believe that. Tonight, as you can tell by the title below, we're going to be talking about TNA Destination X, their third pay-per-view of the year. It's March the 13th, 2005, 775 didn't pay to get in to the Impact Zone in Orlando. The commentators introduced us to the show, and then we get roughly 30 seconds of shitty pyro, and a TNA chant goes up for the pyro because TNA, they gave us fireworks, TNA, and they weren't very good, TNA. Chris Candido and Andy Douglas defeated Lex Lovett and Buck Quartermain in one of our dark matches. Holy shit, am I gutted I missed that one. Not as gutted as I am about missing Kid Cass and Lance Hoyt defeating Cassidy Riley and Jarrell Clark. Obviously. Okay then, shall we get on with this one? So, in our opening contest tonight, Team Canada, which is P.T. Williams, Eric Young, Bobby Roode and A1, defeating Conan, B.G. James, James Storm and Chris Harris, also known as 3 Live Crew and America's Most Wanted, in an okay opener. Johnny Devine should have been in this match, but he has a torn ACL and a torn MCL as well. Sorry dude, sucks to be you. Bell goes 8 minutes and 50 seconds into the show. Kit West says there are 8 unbelievable talents in this ring. I would say there are 5 unbelievable talents, and James and Conan and A1, to be fair. So Conan throws his shoe at Young to start us off. That is surely A, a disqualification, and B, brings up the point, I'm sorry to steal an Austin Powers one, but who throws a shoe? Honestly. He just pulls his shoe off and launches at it. Why did you do that? It's a nice dive onto Team Canada by Harris. This match is very back and forth, each man getting a time to shine until Chris Harris is your wildcat in peril. The heels work the arm as well, which is nice. Harris sells it, tags in Conan, cleans house, gets the Tequila Sunrise, which is broken instantly. We have a Pier 6 brawl, which leads to Conan slamming D'Amore off the top, which means he's wide open to the single most devastating finishing move in all of wrestling. That's right, Bobby Roode hits him with a clothesline from behind, and that gets the win. Unlucky Conan. Holy footballs, that's a weak finisher. A clothesline to the back gets the fin. Gets the pin. So you got the dude who does the Canadian Destroyer in there. Fuck him. He actually didn't do anything of note in this match at all, PC didn't. Yeah. The high point of this match was the shoe, and that was the first thing you saw. So it's one of those, oh, it's all going to be all downhill from here in this match, isn't it? One bollocks finisher. It's a generic tag match. It's just not a very good one. So 1 star from me. In the back, Dusty's bitches argue Trinity and Tracy. Tonight they have both assembled a tag team not before seen here in TNA, and tonight they will face off. The winning team will mean that either Tracy or Trinity will be Dusty Rhodes' personal assistant. Oh no, it's not just some guy, is it? Johnny Fairplay appears and begs for another chance because he wants to be Dusty's associate, as an assistant as well, which is nice. Chris Sabin defeating Chase Stevens in a poor match. Sabin starts fast with his snap Rana and a dive to the outside. He controls until Stevens goes low. He gets 2 neck breakers, a flatline, and then a moonsault, which gets 2. Surfboard stretched by Stevens. Sabin comes back the clothesline and an enziguri and a sweet tornado DDT for 2. Cradle shock is countered, allowing Steven and his teammate Andy Douglas to hit a double super kick, but Sabin counters a roll up to get the win at 6 minutes and 18 seconds. 3-way beatdown for Sabin because Andy Douglas and Chase Stevens and no gimmick needed Chris Candido give him some beats. Surely if he has no gimmick needed, that's his gimmick, so he has a gimmick. Or is that meant to be how it actually is? Is that actually how it's meant to be, folks? Anyway, a masked man makes a save, gets rid of the heels to the outside, and then dives onto them, and then pulls the mask off. And it's Shocker! You know? Shocker! Nope, not heard of him either. His nickname, check this out, is The 1000% Handsome. Lost in translation, I'm guessing there. The 1000% Handsome. He's not easy. He's not just 1000% handsome. That's the issue I have here. It's the 100%, 1000%, 1000%. Good, two good moments. The rest of the match was poor, and I didn't give a fuck in the slightest. Who the fuck is Shocker? I actually had to go and look into it afterwards. He wrestles for CMLL, and he wrestled for AAA, and now he wrestles for CMLL again. I have no idea who he is, and it's meant to be, I'm guessing he'd been on Impact or something and show these vids for something, because it's just like, oh, right, cheers for that. Next. Dustin Rhodes defeating Raven in a piss-poor bull rope match. Our third row in a match without any sort of build-up package whatsoever. So if you're new to TNA like I am and you haven't watched Impacts in between, you're just watching the pay-per-view or you're watching this pay-per-view for the first time, this match is happening just because. There we go. Brawling! Obviously boring and sloppy and quite literally nothing of note or that you've not seen before in a match like this. But there is one highlight, and that is Dom West, once again. He starts talking about how you could get rope burns off the rope, because this is a dangerous match. And that would actually be an alright point. If you hold onto a rope, I mean, Jesus, you can't see him here. I've actually got a scar on my middle digit there, where I once grabbed onto a rope to try and stop it, and it burnt through to my fucking bones. And you're right, okay, that was fun. It did not to the bone, but you know what I mean. It really took a lot of the skin off, and it's still got the scar to this day. The point is that yes, rope burns are painful, but 10 seconds before Don West started talking about the rope burn, yeah, Raven had been smashed had his head smashed into a chair. So you sat there going, yeah, on the scheme of things, I know which one I'd be more asked about. Oh, me bloody head, I might be busted open. Oh, me hands. Oh, me hands. Fucking idiot. Bulldog on a chair gets the win at 6 minutes and 10 seconds. Fucking awful. Awful, awful, dud awful. King Canada beat up Dustin, and America's Most Wanted make the save. And next, you know this is the highlight of the fucking night. The Disciples of Destruction defeating Phi Delta Slam in a woeful match. Who defeated who? I can hear you saying, don't worry. These two teams are the teams that Tracy and Trinity have assembled, all right? Like I said, Dusty said that the deal was they can't have wrestled in TNA before, so go out and find some random jobber tag teams. So, the Disciples of Destruction are the artists formerly known as the Harris Twins, aka the Blue Brothers, aka 8-Ball and Skull as part of DOA, and of course Creative Control in WCW. Phi Delta Slam are Bruno Sassy and Big Tilly. They are fucking huge, and I have no idea who they are. The winning team, as I say, the winning team's manager is personal assistant to Dusty Rhodes. So check this out. You've got two beautiful girls. Tracy Brooks is fucking stunning, isn't she? They are feuding over an overweight man to give affection to an overweight man. The overweight man who is in his 50s, 60s at this point, and who just happens to be booking the promotion. Well done, Dusty. I'm impressed, because if I was booking it, that's what I'd do. I would walk to the ring with two of the hottest girls in the company on one on either side. Like, oh, look at me, I book this shit. Not looking forward to this at all. One of the Slam guys, right, one of the Phi Delta Slam guys, gets clotheslined over the top rope, and he comes down on his head on the apron, and you're just going, yes, you haven't a fucking clue, have you? Oh, horrible looking chokeslam by one of the Harris. Trinity moonsaults onto one of the Harris brothers, right, and I'm guessing he's meant to catch her, and the match is meant to continue. No, he completely fails to catch her. So she slams onto the outside. He has to then pick her up, because I'm guessing he was meant to catch her, launch her into the crowd. That's what happens. He picks her up and launches her into the crowd, and he's going, oh my fucking God. An elbow drop off Brett's rope that you have to see to believe by Big Tilly. It's that shit. Oh. And then we get a tag. Right, it's by that guy. What's his name? By Bruno Sassy. Right, he gets the tag. It's not hot. It's not mild. It's just a tag. Because surprisingly, with two teams that no one gives a fuck about, no one gives a fuck about this match. He does a Hully Gully splash by Tilly. The Harris twins do the old switcheroo, allowing whichever one of the Harris brothers it is to get to the big boot and the win at 10 minutes and 18 seconds. A horrible mess of a brawl that is easily 8 minutes too long. Couldn't give a fuck. Do you remember in 1998 you had the DOA versus Legion of Doom matches? Yeah, they were better than this. Guaranteed. Absolutely fucking atrocious. In fact, this is the first of 2 matches in this show that, yeah, this one we're going to go minus figures. This one and the next match we will happily and willingly go into the minus figures because they are so bad. You know me, I'll only go minus if there's a match I actually either find offensive or if it has absolutely no redeeming features to it at all. And this one is one of the no redeeming features. There is nothing in this match. It's not even so bad it's funny. You can't even laugh at it. It's cringeworthy. And you sat there going, please get off my show. And the fact that all 3 of the previous matches went on, one at 8, one went 6, one went 6. And you sat there going, this one was given 10. Fuck off. Monty Brown fought Trytan to a no contest. Oh, mate. Trytan does not look good, right? He goes to pick up Monty Brown, right? Meant to press on him, sort of thing. And he hasn't the strength to pick him up. He actually doesn't like it. So Monty Brown just falls on the floor. It looks so bad. Basically, it goes like this, yeah? Story of this one, because there is a story there. Trytan keeps going for the chokeslam. Like 3 or 4 times he goes for the chokeslam. When he eventually gets the chokeslam, guess what happens? Oh, that's right, 2 counts. So I thought, what's the fucking point in that? What was the point in that? It makes him look like a jobber. Brown makes a comeback. And the lights go out. When they come on, just some guy is in the ring. Brown hits the pants on the random guy. And what do you think happens next, right? Does the guy go, oh no, I'm so wounded, and roll away, and then Trytan can come in and start giving him beats? Oh, no. That'd be logical booking. Trytan, yeah, fucks off. And Monty Brown pins the masked guy. Because apparently in TNA, you can pin someone who isn't in the match, and that ends the match. That's what happened. He pins him, and that's it. Well, how in God's name can you pin someone and end the match in a match where the dude isn't in the match? How does that make any sense? West thinks it's genius that Trytan has a man, or has a plan, sorry, so that he can counter the pounce. But this isn't a good plan. This is a stupid plan. It's so fucking stupid, and it's so fucking poor as well. Trytan won't be seen again in this company as far as I know. As far as I know, he won't be seen again. It ends up in OVW, if I remember rightly. Yeah, so well done, Trytan. You fucked up your debut pay-per-view match, and well, it wasn't, yeah, you fucked up in the sense that you kept botching, but then, oh, this is the type of match that makes my brain ache. And for the second match in a row, it is a minus figure match. It's so rubbish. We get a video package. Oh, it makes me sad. Honestly, those 2 matches are bollocks. I defy anyone to disagree with me. You know, I will get comments from time to time. Nick, I don't think you're right about this match. I defy anyone. Anyone, go watch it and tell me why I'm wrong. Please do. Video package for the upcoming Falls Count Anywhere match. Hooray, a video package. Jeff Hardy defeating Abyss in an alright Falls Count Anywhere match. Okay, this has got to be better than their wank Full Metal Mayhem match that we saw last month. So, Hardy dives to the outside to kick us off. We brawl into the crowd. We brawl backstage. But there just happens to be this little enclosure that's sort of taped off and that. And there's 2 tables there. Like, so best set those up. Well, I've got the chance. Sets up 2 tables. Some fan, because they're in the catering area. That's why it's sort of a sealed off sort of thing. Some fan tells Abyss to hit him with some coffee. That is logical thinking right there. Good light. I like that. Abyss ends up on one of the tables. Above the tables, there's this ginormous, I'm guessing it's part of the structural of supports of the building, but it's a giant X, massive, great big X, right? And Jeff sees him on there and thinks, why not? Climbs up, he does, and of course he does the Swanton Bomb off the middle of the X onto Abyss. It looks much, much better than the one that he did off the top of the stage last time. After some brawling, we get back to the ring where Abyss gets some chairs. One of them is dropkicked into his stomach. He puts it on Hardy's chest and splashes off Brett's rope. Cover gets 2. When he tries again, the chair goes into his balls, and then Hardy smashes the chair unprotected into Abyss's head twice. Nasty stuff. Cover gets 2. Hardy gets out of the ladder, sets up and does, he does that springboard dropkick. So he springboards over it. He did it in the first TLC match for definite. I can't remember what else. Does that, yeah? That, friends, gets the second TNA chance of the night. TNA! TNA. Just saw a Swanton Bomb that was fucking huge and didn't give a shit. TNA. Oh, leg drop. Yes. TNA. Fuck off. Idiots. Twisted Fate is counted into a shock treatment by Abyss. That gets 2. Heads in there. He's sent headfirst into a chair in the corner for 2. Hardy goes up top, but it's crotched. Abyss puts him on a table and goes up top. Hardy gets up and they brawl up top, and then Abyss gets a super powerbomb off Brett's rope through the table. That's fucking great. Doesn't get a TNA chant though, because why would it? Twisted Fate on the ladder gets the win for Hardy at 15 minutes and 48 seconds. Better than their previous match, I felt. But to be honest, there's 2 highlights in this match. The Swanton Bomb, which is 5 minutes in and in the back and doesn't get any reaction at all because it's in the back. And that top rope powerbomb, that looked great. The rest of it is just meh. It's nothing that we've not seen before. I can't deny that it was a lot more fluid, a lot more crisp. There wasn't as much botching as in the Full Metal Mayhem match. But it still wasn't great. It's 2 stars, but it's not great. After the bell, Hardy takes a black hole slam onto some tacks because he can. Abyss has to get his heat back, I guess. Can't have a monster like that losing. Oh, guys. Kip James defeating Kevin Nash in a crappy First Blood match. Kip James is the man formerly known as Billy Gunn. He interfered in the main event last time out when he was the Outlaw. How many bumps will Kevin Nash take? I'm sorry, we can't play it tonight. I've got to say it, but I can't say it. The reason is because I actually didn't pay much attention to the first couple of minutes of this match, and then I noticed that Kevin Nash was down on his back getting beats from the Outlaw, from Kip James, and I didn't notice how he got down. So, there comes the fucking feds for arresting me for not paying attention. So yeah, we can't play it, I'm afraid, tonight. But you can, if you want to watch the match back and you can guess for it before you start. Ambulance. Because why wouldn't it be? James, this is what I'm talking about. James works the knee. So Kevin Nash somehow ended up on his back. I didn't see how. For reasons. Working in a First Blood match, I could smash you in the face, Nash, but I'd rather work your knee so you can't stand up. For reasons. He gets a screwdriver out and tries to use it. It's quite a dramatic moment, actually. I've got to give him credit. They do a nice close-up on Nash's face, and you can see the screwdriver's like coming from the top of the screen. It's getting closer and closer, and he's holding it back, and that looks great. Nash doesn't bother selling the leg as he launches James to the outside. James uses a chair. It doesn't bust Kevin Nash open, and there's a bump for him. James uses wire cutters to remove a turnbuckle pad. The referee tries to stop him ramming Nash's head into it, so Nash puts the brakes on anyway, and then hits a big boot. He tries snake eyes on the exposed buckle, but is launched into the ref, who's bumped into the exposed turnbuckle. Oh, a ref bumps in a First Blood match. Didn't see that coming. Also, I can really now see a screwy finish coming, because why would you do a fucking ref bump in a First Blood match unless you want to have a screwy finish? Nash goes low because he's a good big bad babyface. Connects with a pair of snake eyes onto the buckle. Right, the first one looks brilliant. Genuinely, he comes down on the exposed turnbuckle. Looks like his face bounces off it. Second one comes down and he holds onto the ropes, and it looks like there's a good foot between his face and the turnbuckle, but it's that one that he chooses to blade off. Yeah, right, okay. But yeah, so he does. He blades. Oh, I lost my place. Yeah, bust even. There's no ref to signal that Nash is the winner, obviously, and here comes Jeff Jarrett. He takes out Nash with the title belt, and some guy comes out and wipes the blood off of James's face. After what feels like an absolute ice age, where you've got absolutely nothing happening whatsoever, the camera reveals that Nash is now busted open, and the referee just happens to come round at the right moment, looks down, sees that Nash is bleeding, awards the match to James. And that is that. Awful match with a bollocks finish. How's that sound? If you're in an insanely good mood, you'll give this one a dud, because this one really did deserve to go into the minus figures. That is one shit finish. Nash, of course, gets his heat back immediately by performing the worst jackknife powerbomb I've ever seen him do. Think of WrestleMania, Batista versus Umaga. What is it? 24? Think of WrestleMania 24, yeah? But remember the Batista bomb? The Batista, do you remember where he falls backwards? Yeah, looks like that. Looks fucking wank. Really shit. Really piss poor. And I think, yeah, again, we're going to go dud. This show's wank, isn't it? But, we have a saviour right now, because Christopher Daniels defeating Ron Killings, Elix Skipper, and AJ Styles in an Ultimate X Challenge match. A what? Because an Ultimate X match just isn't enough. This is standard tag team rules. Pinfall and submission. When someone loses a fall, could be any of them, right? It becomes a three-way match. And when someone else is eliminated, from that, it becomes a standard Ultimate X match. Go up the top, get the belt. This is the 7th Ultimate X match, if I'm not mistaken. And those, my friends, are some confusing ass rules. There is a very, very, very nice little bit of storytelling at the very start of this one. And that is that AJ is teaming up with Skipper. Because you'd think that the two heels here, you'd think that Daniels and Skipper would team up together. But when Triple X were forced to disband all that time ago, it wasn't all that time ago, it was only a couple months ago, they were told you will never team up ever again. So they're not allowed to tag together. That, friends, is fucking great. That's genuinely, like, when I had to pause it to write all that down, because I was like, that is brilliant. That is genuinely good. I wish more wrestling companies would do stuff like that, because it makes stipulations matter. You know, it's really good. So, Truth gets a nice power slam for 2. Skipper gets a sweet buff fly suplex and a nice dropkick. Daniels in. He demands that Killings tags in Styles. So, naturally, Daniels wants none of it. Sorry, it's the other way around. Styles in. He demands that Killings tags Daniels in. Naturally, Daniels wants none of it. So Styles gets a nice dropkick, but Daniels comes in for a cheap shot, so Killings can take control with a nice spinning clothesline. He tags Daniels in. He gets a dropkick, but Styles gets 2 off a knee drop. Daniels with a sweet flatliner. Then he headlocks the head, obviously, because you wouldn't headlock a fucking foot, would you? Jesus Christ. Then they trade punches, which leads to an enziguri by Styles. Killings and Skipper both in. Killings looks great as he hits an axe kick off the top for 2. Daniels bails. So Styles leaps over a turnbuckle, which always looks good. A corner spot like that is always brilliant. But Skipper hits a sudden death on Killings to eliminate him. So well, sudden death? Is that right? Onto the 3-way elimination. Sudden death is a Emerald Fusion, if anyone's wondering. So it's a 3-way. It's Skipper versus Daniels versus Styles. Daniels lets his former teammate go on it. Like, go on, I'll sit on the outside, you guys go on it. So Skipper and Daniels collide, so Daniels climbs to the top of the X, and in a genuinely fucking brilliant move, right, he climbs himself up to the top of the X, and you're sat there going, what's he doing here? Because he can't get the belt or anything. Moonsaults off it. It looks amazing. It looks so good. Cover only gets 2, and of course that TNA. Skipper and Daniels argue. Styles is knocked to the outside, landing head first on the outside to a big thud. Skipper gets a belly-to-belly suplex on Daniels, followed by a leg lariat. Skipper teases a dragon suplex. Don't like that. But Styles hits him with a crossbody and a gut buster. And then, in one of my biggest disappointments that I can think of in wrestling for a long, long time, right? You've got Daniels and you've got Skipper up on the top rope, right? Styles climbs up onto the X, and you're sat looking at it going, if it was me, I'd do a fucking reverse Rana off that. Because it'd be incredible. So Styles pulls himself across on the X, swings himself out, and he lands on Daniels' shoulders. And I shout out, fucking do it! And they attempt a super reverse Rana. One problem, notice the word that I used there, was attempt, because it does not look nice. And it would have been so good. I jumped out of my seat of the anticipation. Like, come on, do it. If you do this, this will be one of the best spots I've ever seen. I've never seen this match ever. So it's like, come on, do it. And they did try it, and it just looked shit. And you're going, oh, man. You know, A star for fucking trying the dunk. I thought it ate your leg for some reason. A star for trying it, but it doesn't look good, guys. I'm sorry. It's one of those, oh, such a big disappointment. That's the light starts to do. Like that one. So, oh man. Daniels come off the top, but it's caught in a bomb by Skipper for 2. Styles wants the shooting star. You know how Daniels had done the moonsault off the X? Well, Styles tries the shooting star press off it. That does not look nice. Styles tries a moonsault DDT. You know, he does that. He does it all the time. Does it so crisply. Does it nice. I've seen him do it live in person. Yeah, botches that as well. Like, oh, okay, what's going on here? Sudden death by Skipper, but Daniels rolls up Skipper to eliminate him at 17:09, which actually makes perfect sense because it's one of those, right, well, if I get rid of this guy's already fucked up. This should be easy. Daniels climbs the X, but he's knocked down. Daniels climbs and is knocked down. Styles climbs and is knocked down. Daniels climbs and knocked down. Daniels gets a backbreaker and a Pele kick, which West goes fucking nuts for. It's like it's the first time I've seen it. He demands immediately, we have got to see a replay of that. It's like all the things that have happened in this match so far, it's a fucking Pele kick that you go nuts for. In fact, right, I'm not going to call him incredible anymore. Don West says, I'm going to call him phenomenal, because his nickname has been the phenomenal AJ Styles for years, and what, have you just not bothered calling him it? Idiot. They both go up. Daniels is knocked down, so launches himself IJ to pull him down. They go up again, where Styles hangs from the X. Daniels hits a fucking enormous STO on him, which looks great. They go up and come down. Then they go up and they come down. And the third time the ref gets hit in the face when they come down. AJ goes up and gets the belt, but the referee is out. So Daniels hits Angel's wings and then grabs the belt. And then lies down like, he does an almost Eddie Guerrero style, he's pretending he's playing possum. Referee just happens to come round at that and awards the match to fucking Daniels. The first 20 minutes of this were okay to good. The last 5 dragged. AJ Styles looked sloppy as bollocks in times. But that fucking finish, guys. Oh my fucking days, right? If on Impact a couple of days ago they'd had this finish and then they repeated the finish here, you go, that was bad, right? If you'd done it on the last pay-per-view, if they'd done that finish and then they'd done it again, it's like, oh, not the same again, you'd be kicking off. But this, guys, was the same finish as the previous match. The previous match, the last one, had a screwy finish where the referee was out, didn't see it, came round, awarded it to the wrong guy. Yeah, exactly the same here. Exactly the fucking same. I have to ask, which one is it? Is it that the TNA officials are not paying attention to their show, or worse, is it that they just don't care? Because this had all the hallmarks of being really good, and it just wasn't. But that, for me, it could have been amazing. Seriously, guys, what have we rated this one? Because once again, I haven't written it down on the thing. I gave it 2.5 stars. So if you're thinking about it, without that finish, you're probably looking at a 3-star match, or maybe even 3.5-star match. And you know me, I'm always happy to give at least half a star for one of the 3. If that Super Reverse Rhino had gone down, I probably would have gone for the full hog. You know, full point. So think about it. This potentially would have been a 4.5-star match, and it just wasn't. How does that sound? Anyway, on to our main event, because this one's surely got to be good, hasn't it? It's got to be Jeff Jarrett defeating DDP in a ringside reverse match to retain the NWA Championship. Ah, yes, hot on the heels of 3 stipulation matches. Oh, yes, let's have another one. A ringside revenge match, okay? A match where the ring is surrounded by random guys who've been pissed off or been pissed on by Jeff Jarrett. They're not lumberjacks. No, they're just there. And Jeff also brings down some of his bitches as well. So we've got faces and heels out there. Okay? They are basically, all these people are there to stop Jeff Jarrett using weapons. So he can't use a guitar, and he can't use a cello, and he can't use anything like that. Okay? 2/3 of the infamous Ready to Rumble cage match from Slamboree, baby! So you know it's going to be good. We just need some Marquette, don't we? The crowd are really, really, really hot for DDP. The build-up package for this one is fucking great. It genuinely is. Apart from them getting and say it's time twice. You know. But apart from that. Anyway, so these fans, they believe it's time. It's time for a new change. We all do. I don't care who it is at the moment. Just take the belt off Jarrett, for fuck's sake. Jeff Jarrett bails as the bell rings, so 3 live crew force him back into the ring. And then the heels protect him the second time he does it. They trade finisher attempts, so Jeff Jarrett bails again. This time Page follows and they brawl inside. Inside, they trade headlocks and Page gets 2 off an elbow and then gets a clothesline to the outside where they brawl on the announce table and Page uses the, don't see this one very often, do we? Caffeinated water of doom! Brawl into the crowd where Page uses a trash can. Guess it's no disqualification in this match. It isn't said so at the start, but I'm guessing they're allowed. Brawling in the crowd, brawling at the Spanish announce table, brawling with a crutch. Page gets an office chair. Yes, he does. And he puts it and Jeff Jarrett in the ring. And then I'm actually ashamed to say this because I was ashamed to write it down. He gets an atomic drop, right? Atomic drop. Jeff Jarrett spins around, falls onto the chair. And then, and this is the bit that made me laugh. I don't know why this made me laugh so much. It just did. Page whacks him full force across the cheek, yeah? And Jarrett spins round on the office chair. And it just makes me laugh. The punch had that much force that it spun him round. I don't know. It just made me chuckle. Big boot knocks him and the chair over for 2. Jeff Jarrett drops Page headfirst onto a turnbuckle, and then uses the chair to the knee of Page with 3 shots. He starts to work over the leg, stomping it into the ropes. Figure 4 is attempted, but Page knows it's coming, cradles for 2. Back to the knee. Page sells the leg as he gets some punches, but Jeff Jarrett gets a shin breaker and a figure 4 because he's evil. Page escapes, speaking of which, they have a nice pin escape, but Jeff Jarrett puts on a sleeper because he's so evil. Page escapes, and we have a 10 count, which West is an idiot, isn't he? He doesn't have a fucking clue. He questions what would happen if it gets to 10. Would the belt stay with Jeff? Like, yeah, it would, because it'd be a draw. So it'd stay with Jeff. Do you not know the rules, Don West? You're paid to talk about wrestling, but you haven't a fucking clue. I mean, you haven't a clue. He doesn't seem to have the emotional control of his voice. So the match starts off in a headlock. It's, oh my God, we gotta see a replay. And then you see an absolutely ridiculous spot later on the match. And because he used up all his fucking energy in the opening thing, you just go, oh, look at that. Don't care. But things like this are so stupid. He could say, if it gets to 10, you know, belt stays with Jeff. That's cool. But the fact he questioned it, it's like he genuinely doesn't know. Page rams Jeff Jarrett's head into the turnbuckle various times and gets closed down for 2. Diamond Cutter is countered. Sorry, I've got DC written. DC is countered. Like, what? David Coulthard? What's he doing there? So Page gets a rock bottom for 2. Page gets a sit-out bomb for 2. Diamond Cutter, again, DC, is countered. David Coulthard is countered, and Candido and the Naturals grab Page on Jeff Jarrett to get the stroke. But Page kicks out, and now all the not lumberjacks start brawling, which means that Kip James can give Jeff Jarrett a guitar. BG James gets the guitar. He wants to smash it into Jeff Jarrett's face, but he smashes Conan's head by mistake. Ref is bumped. Obviously, in a match like this, why is it only now he's getting bumped? Kip James attacks Page and gets a rocker dropper, but it only gets 2 when the ref comes round. And here comes Sean Waltman. He's out. He takes out Jeff Jarrett as well. And he takes out Kip as well. Sorry. Bronco Buster for Kip, Bronco Buster for Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett up top, DC again. Diamond Cutter for Naturals, Diamond Cutter for Candido, Diamond Cutter for Page off the top. Attorney, dude from the last show, is out, as is Monty Brown. And Monty Brown hits the pounce on Page, allowing, and then he picks it just to make sure, because was that a mistake? No. He picks up Jeff Jarrett, puts him on top of Page so that he can get the win at 21 minutes, 21 and 40 seconds. It is as overbooked as he could possibly be. It is an Attitude Era main event with the volume turned up to 100. It is fucking nuts. It's so nuts. It was okay for what it was, right? That doesn't mean it was any good. I mean, I can't in good conscience go any higher than at least 1. I mean, if you went 2 stars, I would have to question it, but at the same time, be like, yeah, I can kind of see where you're going for. I hated that finish so very much. Why would you have the one guy? You've got one guy in your company who isn't, who's ridiculously over, and who you could put the belt on, and the people would believe that he's a genuine main eventer, And you had him a couple of months ago lose to Jeff Jarrett, and then what? For 2 months he's been sat there just going, I've got to do something to Jarrett. And he decided, fuck it, if you can't beat him, join him. So it does. And you're going, what the fuck's going on there? Worst show of the year so far, this one, folks, which is saying something considering we had No Way Out and New Year's Resolution from WWE, which were both garbage. This was really not good. Nothing at all worth going out of your way to see. There is nothing. Because even the Ultimate X Challenge match isn't actually that great, is it? And there's going to be much better Ultimate X matches coming up, or X Division matches, sorry, coming up later on this year. Out of a possible 40 stars, I think it is, I think this show gets half a star. Because of the 2 minus ones take it underneath, you just go, wow, that was wank, wasn't it? It's really poor, really piss poor show. So, of course, obviously we're going to have exceptionally high hopes going into the WrestleMania 21 review that I'll be doing for you in a couple of weeks' time. Ladies and gentlemen, I really hope you've enjoyed this episode of 10 years ago as much as I've hated doing this show. Believe it or not, I actually watched the pay-per-view in 1 sitting, so it can't be that bad. But then no, because if we just get it out of the way, then it's done, and I don't ever have to watch it ever again. It was one of those, force myself to watch this last night. Like, I don't want to watch this at all. Yeah, nothing at all. Nothing worth going out your way at all. I promise you that much. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and leave me a lovely comment telling me what you thought of this show. If I No. Follow me on Twitter. Check me out on Facebook. I've been Marc P. Thank you so much for watching this episode 10 years ago. Should we do something special for the 100th episode? I have to think about that one, won't we? I've been Marc P. Take it easy, guys.